Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be discuss the three different types of business ownership, plus the advantages and disadvantages of each one. The first type of business ownership is the sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is a business owned by one person. Most local business are sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is easy to establish because it requires less paperwork than other forms of business ownership. Let's talk about the advantages of a sole proprietorship. Really are not required to report anything to anyone besides filing tax return. For most sole proprietors, the biggest advantage is the satisfaction of working for yourself. Sole proprietors make their own decision and have full creative control over everything. As a sole proprietor, you get to keep all the after-tax profit if the business does great you and do great. But if the business doesn't make any money, you don't get paid. The federal government does recognize the company as a taxable entity. All of the profit goes to the owner where it's treated as personal income. Let's talk about disadvantages of sole proprietorship. In a sole proprietorship, owner has unlimited liability, so any legal damage or debt attained by the business are the owner's personal responsibility. A sole proprietor has the stress of making all the major decisions, solving all the major problems, and they are sometimes tied down by the company. So taking time off can be impossible. Running a business as a sole proprietor can be complicated because it often requires expertise in accounting, marketing, information technology, business law, and a lot of other fields. Because sole proprietorship depend on a single owner, they have fewer financial resources. Sole proprietor get none of the employee perks like pay, vacation time, sick leave, and health insurance unless they pay for it themselves. The next type of business ownership is a partnership. A partnership is similar to a sole proprietorship, but unlike the sole proprietorship, a partnership is owned by two or more people. Let's talk about the advantages of a partnership. Establishing a partnership is easy. You and your partner basically just say you are in business together and apply for the necessary business license. The main reason to start a partnership is to increase the amount of money you have to open and operate the business. A financial advantage in partnership is the opportunity to share costs. So partners share the cost for tank utilities, staff, and everything else. Income tax is straightforward. For partnership, profit is split between the owners in each trust their portion as personal income, putting together the skills and experience of two or more professionals can help your business grow much faster than operating as a sole proprietor. By forming a partnership, you increase the chance that your business will last because new partners can enter the business to replace one who retire or pass away. Let's talk about the advantages of partnership. All the owners in partnership face the same unlimited liabilities as sole proprietors. When you have more people in charge, the chance of everything bumping heads goes up opposed to a sole proprietor, where there is only one person in charge. Issues with expansions, succession, and termination can destroy partnership if the owners don't have clear plans and expectations. The last topic of business ownership is a corporation. A corporation is a legal entity that has the power to own property and conduct business. Corporations are distinct from any individual person, and it is owned by investors who purchase shares. The stock, they are called the shareholders. Let's talk about the advantages of a corporation. The ability to raise capital by selling shares of stock to outside investors as the main reason corporation came into existence. The stock of publicly traded companies has a high degree of liquidity, which means investors can quickly convert their share into cash by selling it. Liquidity also helps give corporation a long lifespan. A corporation itself has a limited liability, but the shareholders who own a corporation own a limited liability. Basically, they are potential losses only as great as the amount they've invested in the company. Let's talk about the advantages of a corporation. Starting a corporation is more expensive and more complicated than starting a sole proprietorship or partnership. To help investors make informed decisions about tax, government agencies require publicly traded companies to publish detailed financial reports. Top executives in a corporation have to devote a large amount of time and energy to meeting with shareholders, financial analysts, and the new media. Outside investors who acquire enough of a company's stock can gain seats on the board of directors and begin to exert their influence on company management. A corporation has to pay federal and state income tax on its profit, and shareholders have to pay income tax on their share or of company's profit received as dividends. Publicly held corporations release their financial reports once every quarter, and if a company is not showing any earning growth, this could cause their stock price to decrease because investors are starting to sell their shares.